Hey guys, welcome back to my channel again. My name is Arsalan and today we are on day 67th of solving the object-oriented programming questions with the help of Python. If you are very new to this playlist, let me give you a very brief introduction of what this playlist is all about. In this playlist, we have been solving questions based on object-oriented programming. We started from a day one where we started from a very basic logic, very basic idea and very basic understanding of object-oriented programming. Then we move on to day 2, day 3, day 4, so on and so forth. So we have been increasing the bar of object oriented programming day by day. As you can see my previous tutorials where I have just solved so many questions, and all of them questions were very different from the previous question with each other. So all of the questions were different from each other. So what we will be doing here today is we will be solving another question based on object oriented programming, and there's a concept called encapsulation on which we will be focusing this question on. So this question is focuses on this topic of encapsulation, and this concept is this topic of encapsulation. I have already discussed this topic of encapsulation in my previous tutorials. I started this concept on day 61 where I have introduced the concept of encapsulation and talk about it in very depth. So if you are very new to this concept of encapsulation, you can start watching my tutorials from day 61. If you are focusing on learning encapsulation, this tutorial it will be very helpful for you to understand, because we also done so many questions related to it, and also I have just introduced the basic structure of the encapsulation. So all of the things are mentioned here, and we have been solving question on encapsulation, which will just enhance your coding skills and the logic building skills in encapsulation in object oriented programming day by day. So this tutorial will be very helpful for you. So just before starting with this tutorial, please do subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, press the bell icon button and bookmark the playlist so that you can get the updates from the channel. So what we will be doing here is, first of all, we will be creating a class. So design a class called user with private attributes username, email and friends, a list of friends username. So as I have already told you before, that solve the question step by step. Any question you are doing, whether it's short or long, just solve it step by step, then you will just uh, find it easier find it easier to solve the question. If you just read all the question, and I think that you might find difficulty if you read full complete the if you try to just go in the question in the fully. So I mean that if you try to just do the question step by step, you will find it easier to do it. So let's start this question, and what we will be doing here is we will be creating a class called user, and then we have some instance attribute here which are private attribute. And if you do not know what are private attribute, we will be discussing in this tutorial about private attributes too. However, I have already discussed it in my previous tutorials where I have discussed in depth what are private attributes, and what are private attribute, what are protected, and what are public attribute, and what is the difference between these three. And also I have discussed it in my 61st tutorial as well. So today also we will be discussing it, but if you want to have a deep understanding of this tutorial, of these topics, of these attributes, you can just watch it my 61 and 62nd tutorial. Now we have three attributes here, that is username, email and friends. So we can just write it like this. First of all, let's pass the parameters here, that these are parameters. Let's pass the parameters here, and after passing the parameters, let's just pass the parameter first, and we can just define the attributes here. And after passing these parameters, we will be defining the parameters which will be saying that self dot attributes. So we'll be writing some attributes here. First of all, its username is equals to username, and this is our private attributes. This is our private attribute. Now self dot email is equals to email, I'm just writing it down, then I will be explaining to you what is private attribute. So just hold on for a minute while I write the thing here. Friends is equals to a list. So this will be our list of friends, so we do not have to pass it here because it's a list and it's an empty list, so we can just do it like this. Now guys, these all are private attributes. What are private attributes? So they are start from a double underscore. As you can see, they start from a double underscore, and we cannot access them directly, which means that if you want to access them directly, you cannot access them. They can only be accessed through a method. So what I mean here is that if you want to create, if you create an instance here, let's say Ahmad is equals to username and user, and it has two instance attributes. So first is username, so let's say Ahmad is the username, and then email is the any email. You can put email at the rate gmail.com, anything you can put it like this, Ahmad at the rate gmail.com. It's the email. Now if you want to get the username directly, you cannot get them. So if I say the print Ahmad dot, so I have passed the instance here. Instance is my Ahmad, and then I will be putting dot here, and I will be saying dot username, and then I will then if I run this of course it will be throwing me an error. Why? Because we cannot access them directly. However, if I just change it for a minute, let's just change it for a minute and change what? Just I change it like this, and then remove this, we can now access them directly. Why? Because this is a public attribute. This is a public attribute, guys. So you can access them directly now. See, we can access them directly. However, we cannot access them directly if they are a private attribute. So to access private attribute, we have to create a method. To access them directly, we cannot access them. We can only access them with a method. What method? So if I say that def get username and self here, pass self here, and I can just access it with through my method. Now I can say that return self dot underscore username. So now I can access it through a method. I can say that get username and just put a parenthesis here because it's a method, and if I just run it, you will be seeing that I'm getting Ahmed now. So I can access them, change it with a method only. So get or set method, if you want to change it to a new name, you cannot do it the way we were doing with the public attribute. You can only do it with the get or set method. Now if you have the idea of how the private attributes work, let's move back to our question and see what they are saying and asking us to do. Implement method to add friends, remove friends, and display user information. So we can create a method to display user information. So we can just remove this method from here, and we can just create a method which will be displaying all the three attributes in it. So we can just say that that's def add user. First of all, we'll be creating a method to add the user inside the friends list which we have created, and it will be saying that add user. So whatever user you want to add, so I can just say that new user I want to add, and this is the parameter, one more parameter that is only for this method. So I will be saying that self dot underscore friends dot append what? Append new user. So this will be appending the new user inside my list. So it is initially an empty list, and if I say that display info, if I create a method that shows me a display info that will be showing me all the three methods. So I can just show you how things will be working here, that print me f string here and saying that friends, and this will be giving me self dot underscore friends. And if I run the method of display info, and so display info will be having all the three attributes. Right now I'm just putting friends just to show you that right now I do not have any user inside my friends list. All right, so I right now I do not have any. Friends is equal to an empty list, right? And what I can do here is instead of printing, I will be returning this for now, and that's why it was showing me none, because I have returned it, printed it, and I have again printed it, so that's why it was showing me none. So right now it's an empty list. As you can see, friends is equals to an empty list. However, if I say that Ahmad dot add friends, add user, or I can say add user, and say, let's say Arsalan is the new user or a friend he want to add. And now if I run this method again, the initially it will be an empty list, and then it will be one added user, as we have added here. As you can see, we have added it here. Now what we will be doing here, implement methods to add friends. So this method has been done. Now we have to remove friends as well, so we have to create a method to remove friends as well. So let's create a method to remove friends. So the logic will be here to first of all write the method name, and then we will passing self, and then we will be saying that user, new user, or we can just say that username, or we can just write user only, because we haven't passed user anywhere. So what we will be doing here is, we will be first of all checking if the user is inside the list or not, because if we will just directly remove it, it will be not removing it if it's not there, which means that first of all we will be checking, first of all we will check whether the user is inside the list, friends list or not, before removing it. So to remove it, first of all we have to check it. So what we will be doing, we will be putting a check here. If user in self dot underscore friends, then we can just remove it. If it's there, then only we can remove it. So what we will be doing here is, we will be removing it. So we can say that self dot underscore friends dot remove user. So there is a method that will be removing the user from the friends list. And else, we will be also writing else here, so that if it's not there, it will be not showing me an error, and instead it will be just returning me or it's instead it will be printing me a value, which will be saying that an f string here, which will be saying that user not found in the inside the list, inside the friends list. So let's be more specific, friends list. Now now we have created a method that will be removing my user from the friends list too, and I've also created a method that will be displaying info. However, we have to add two more things, that will be email and our username. So I can just pass a single string here that will be just that will be all that will be concatenating all the three attributes here. So let's just say that first of all friends, and I can friends list, that is, this will be my friends list, and my first of all I will be putting username. So let's say username colon, and I will be saying that self dot underscore username. All right, and I will be putting a line break here to separate them with a line. Then I will be saying that email colon self dot underscore email, and then I can just remove the extra spaces from here and do it like this. Now if I just do it like this, you can see that I haven't put a line break here, so I have to put line break here too. Now if I just run the display info method, I will be getting all the three attributes here inside my display info method, and also I will be seeing the added user or removed a user. So let's see. First of all, I have printed this twice. So display info method has been printed twice. So first of all, it will be showing me a list of printed list of empty friends, and then list with friends of as Arsalan. So as you can see, username Ahmad, email ahmad@gmail.com, list is equal to this, and username Ahmad. Then again, so let's just put a empty space here, so to make a space separation of two lines. Yeah, you can see that first of all we are getting this code, and then we are getting this code, and the difference between both of these is that friends list, initially it was an empty list, and we have added one friend inside our friends list. What we can do here is we can add more number of friends, but we won't be doing here. What we will be doing here is we will be just creating a space separation, and after that we will be just checking our remove method also. So remove user method, remove user, we will be checking this method that if it's working fine or not. So first of all we will be saying ahmad.user remove user, and the user only in it is Arsalan, so we can just only put it like this, and then again check this display info method and show it to you that it's again showing me an empty list because we have removed this user from the list. And if I just run it again, it should be throwing me an error. So let's see, if I just run it again, it should be throwing me an error, which means that it will be showing that Arsalan not found in the friend list. So which means that it's not showing me an error. Actually, what I mean here is that it will be just showing me the printed value, which is saying that user not found in the list. So this is what I meant, not the actual error, but we have already handled the error here only with the else condition. So that's why it was not showing me an error. So now what we will be doing here is we can just add more number of users here, we can just remove from here. So this was all in the question, guys. So this was all in the question. I hope you have understood this question, guys, and we have done all the parts they have asked in the question. So hope you have liked this tutorial of encapsulation, and the main idea of encapsulation was to create private attribute, and to understand the concept of private attribute, and to understand the concept of encapsulation, how it works. And the main idea here was that it cannot be accessed directly, and it can only be accessed through a method of get or set. So I hope you have understood this logic. Thank you, guys. If you have any doubt left, you can just ask me in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching this video, and see you next time.